Among the glitz and glamour of our modern-day cities containing massive skyscrapers and huge rail and road networks, it is all but hard to believe that there might be cities which would have lost from the world view with time. But in fact, there are quite a few such cities in the world which are considered lost. Some of them have even been found and excavated from beneath the ground. While we don't yet know the concrete reasons why the cities suffered the fate that they did, what we know is that some of these cities were the most culturally and technologically advanced places on the Earth at the time. Today we are looking for some lost wonders in the world in the form of cities which were earlier considered to be lost and only survived in the folklore. Scientists and historians combined forces to find out about the current location of these cities, and the entire world got to witness the grandeur of some of the lost cities in the world. Here are 10 such cities which were discovered. 1. Machu Picchu. Perhaps the most famous rediscovered city and now one of the most popular travel destinations in South America, Machu Picchu sits high in the Peruvian Andes. On July 24, 1911, the explorer Hiram Bingham first laid eyes on the majestic site. The local people, though, had known about the ruins and actually showed Bingham the way. But his reports became the first time the place was made known to the world at large. It was hard to see them, for they were partly covered with trees and moss, the growth of centuries, but in the dense shadow, hiding in bamboo thickets and tangled vines, appeared here and there walls of white granite carefully cut and exquisitely fitted together. Researchers now believe it was a summer retreat for the Inca elite. Even though Machu Picchu was abandoned as the Incan Empire collapsed in the 16th century, the Spanish invaders never found it. It sat largely undisturbed until Bingham's arrival. 2. Babylon. In the ancient land of Mesopotamia, this thriving and powerful city once stood, which has been famous for its appearances throughout the Bible. The actual site of Babylon existed in what is now Iraq, about 50 miles south of Baghdad. After being conquered by the Persians and then the Greeks, Babylon eventually fell into ruins and was covered by the desert. German archaeologist Robert Koldewey excavated the city in 1899, but European travelers had seen it for at least a century before that. Today, archaeologists believe the biblical Tower of Babel may have actually been the temple to the Babylonian god Marduk, but it's not clear if the Hanging Gardens, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, actually existed in Babylon, as no real evidence for them has been found there. Iraq ruler Saddam Hussein attempted to reconstruct parts of Babylon, and further military occupation damaged the ancient site, but today's archaeologists are hoping to better preserve it. 3. Pompeii, Italy. In 79 AD, a massive eruption of Mount Vesuvius buried the nearby city of Pompeii and some of its residents under 20 feet of ash and rock. The location of the city was gradually lost to history, but it was rediscovered in the 15th century by an architect planning to build on the site. Excavations didn't begin until 1748, but have continued ever since. Pompeii, as an archaeological site, is the longest continually excavated site in the world. The eruption helped preserve the city so well that it gave later scholars tons of info on what ancient Roman life was really like, and there's still more of Pompeii left to discover, as a third of the city may still be buried. 4. Atlantis. Today's reputable scholars believe the sunken city of Atlantis is totally made up. However, ancient ruins are occasionally found beneath the sea, leading to sensationalized headlines that the lost city of Atlantis existed and has been found. As in a 2018 claim, many treasure hunters have believed the city to be located somewhere near the coast of southern Spain. Unfortunately, all archaeologists really have to go on as to location are the writings of the Greek philosopher Plato from around 360 BC, who described the city as being near the Strait of Gibraltar. But his morality tale was most likely only an allegory for a wealthy, corrupt city that was destroyed by the gods for its hubris and sunk into the sea. 5. Angkor Wat, Cambodia. From the 9th to the 15th centuries, the Khmer Empire's city of Angkor thrived until, researchers believe, a period of huge monsoons destroyed its highly sophisticated water management system. After the city was abandoned, some temples remained as important pilgrimage sites, while others were reclaimed by the jungle. In the 1860s, French explorer Henri Mahot was the first European to report on the ruins, which are now a major archaeological site. Discoveries are still being made at Angkor Wat, Angkor's most famous temple, is one of the mystical destinations that truly inspire awe. 6. Petra Jordan. In reality, the ancient Rose City, carved directly into red-tinged sandstone rock, thrived for centuries until its gradual abandonment when the Romans took over and changed trade roads, closely guarded by local people. Europeans did not know of its whereabouts until a Swiss explorer, Johann Ludwig Burckhardt, visited there in 1812, hiding his identity as a Westerner and pretending to be on a pilgrimage. Today, discoveries are still being made. In 2016, new satellite scans revealed a huge monumental platform hiding in plain sight. Petra is also one of the 35 most beautiful man-made structures in the world. 7. Troy, Turkey. Homer's ancient Greek poem, the Iliad, describes the city of Troy, along with the legendary beauty Helen of Troy, and also possibly the war named after it. Centuries after the city's decline and gradual abandonment, the site was believed to be in northwest Turkey near the Aegean Sea, but no one could agree on exactly where. In the 19th century, a series of expeditions set out to find it, and it was a German amateur archaeologist, Heinrich Schliemann. 8. Mohenjodaro, India. One of the oldest rediscovered cities in the world. This Indus Valley civilization settlement dates from 2500 BC, but the people who lived here still remain a mystery. The city is huge and well organized, and it even has a sewer system, but the absence of temples or royal palaces suggests an egalitarian society. After 600 years, the city was abandoned for unknown reasons, possibly because of a change in the path of the Indus River that supplied the city with water. Mohenjo-Daro's ruins remained untouched for 4,000 years, until Indian archaeologist R.D. Banerjee rediscovered them in 1922 while surveying the area. Speaking of sewers, this is what people used before toilet paper existed. Dorka, India. The discovery of the legendary city of Devaraka, which is said to have been founded by Lord Sri Krishna, is an important landmark in the validation of historical relevance of Mahabharata. It has set at rest the doubts expressed by historians about the historicity of Mahabharata and the very existence of Devaraka city. It has greatly narrowed the gap of Indian history by establishing the continuity of the Indian civilization from the Vedic age to the present day. The discovery has also shed welcome light on second urbanization in the so-called Dark Age, on the resuscitation of Dharma, on the resumption of maritime trade, and use of Sanskrit language and modified Indus script. Incidentally, scientific data useful for a study of sea level changes and effects of marine environment on metals and wood over long periods has also been generated by underwater exploration. All this was possible because of the dedicated and daring efforts of marine archaeologists, scientists and technicians of the Marine Archaeology Center of the National Institute of Oceanography. The first archaeological excavations at Boracay were done by the Deccan College, Pune, and the Department of Archaeology, Government of Gujarat in 1963 under the direction of H.T. Sankalia. It revealed artifacts many centuries old. Taxila, modern-day Pakistan. Peeling back the layers at Taxila demonstrates the fascinating influences of multiple civilizations that lived at this ancient city along the Indus River. This city was home to the world's first university. It also has a deep connection with Lord Buddha as he resided on the land for some time. 3 distinct masonry techniques divide the site into 3 separate cities, hailing from 3 distinct time periods. Though far less well known than many other historic sites, few places on Earth have such a concentration of our historical record. So it was with little surprise that UNESCO designated Taxila a World Heritage Site in 1980. With this influx of preservation and curatorial-mindedness, a museum was created to provide an efficient guide to the 3 millennia of human civilization underfoot, making the city's vast wonders accessible to all. These are some of the world's oldest cities which were lost in time. Hope you liked the fascinating information. Tell us in the comments which story of discovery fascinated you the most. See you in the next video.